In this module, we'll be reviewing how to activate, deactivate, and reactivate care team members. I am in the staging training environment, and I'm going to begin by navigating to the orange Patients tab. In this active patients view, I will select my patient by clicking in between their first name and their date of birth. I will find the care coordination section, and once I navigate to that, I'm going to open it and expand it by clicking the care coordination text. I'm going to navigate down to the current care team section, and here you'll see the current care team and any lead care coordinator change history right down here. To begin, I'm going to expand the care team section by clicking the grid view, which is the associated view button, and I'm going to click that and it will open a new screen. Here you'll see all of the active connections for the patient, and I'm going to add a new care team member. Here I will look for the care team member, and I'm going to look for Robin's skiff. So I'm going to put Robin's last name, and I'm going to use the magnifying glass to search. Here you'll find Robin's name. Sometimes it may not show up as a first result, and you can look up more results to find any other folks that might be under that name. So I'm going to click Robin and select her role. Now, oftentimes we have folks asking what the difference between care coordinator and care manager are. For our purpose, there is really no difference between care coordinator and care manager. Usually it is up to the organization of what they have you as the title. We typically label folks as care coordinator for this, but again, it doesn't really matter. It's really up to you. For the participation type, we're going to choose the care team member. Sometimes we have some organizational admins or other care team members. For this, we're going to select care team member. Now I'm going to change Robin to the lead CC. Now Mary already has a lead CC assigned, and we just like to note and call out that before you change a lead care coordinator, we always like to have folks have a meaningful conversation with the previously labeled lead care coordinator. This reason is that the lead care coordinator should really only be somebody who's the trusted go-to person that the patient assigns. That's the really way we define it, is that a lead care coordinator is the trusted person that the patient is going to. So say this person has talked to the patient and they said, I really would love for you to be my lead care coordinator. And Robin has that meaningful conversation. We're going to go ahead and change that now. And it's going to prompt you again. This is all for engaging folks in that conversation with anybody else in the care team and saying, I'm now going to be the lead CC. This is just to prompt you of that. I'm going to click OK. And it's going to say you must enter a reason. And this, you can do internal staffing change if that might be the case, but for this, we're going to do patient and family request. And I'm just going to write per patient request and save and close. Here you'll see Robin has been added as the new lead CC. And I'm just going to go back to the care coordination section and show you what that looks like in the change history box. Now you'll see Robin is added to here. And now since I added Robin as a lead CC and I did change that information, you're going to see here that I changed that today. I changed it to Robin, and that was per patient request. So this just shows any change history with the lead CC, and it shows that reason for change there. I'm going to go ahead and continue with editing some care team members here. And I'm going to say that Denise is no longer connected with the patient. Perhaps they fell out of care or they're not really connected with that organization anymore. You can deactivate a care team member by clicking, there's a little checkbox. You can click that. We are in the active connections for patients view. I'm going to click that and click deactivate. Now this removes Denise from the care team. I'm going to do that. And it's going to again prompt you for reason for removal. And I'm just going to write staffing change. It's going to go ahead and send email notifications to all parties involved. And you'll see that Denise is now removed from the active care team members. So with that being said, we can always say if we need to reactivate Denise, the staffing change has been reversed and Denise now does need to become reactivated with the patient. Oftentimes that does happen, and sometimes folks get an error message, and that might be because they are already inactive on the patient's care team. So if you ever get an error message while trying to reactivate someone, always check the inactive connection list because they might just need to be reactivated on the patient's care team. So I will show you how to reactivate a person on a patient's care team. Again, I went to inactive connection associated view. You can see all the folks on here that were once a part of the patient's care team but are no longer. So I'm going to select Denise to reactivate her on the patient's care team. I'm going to click activate and confirm. And I'm going to navigate back to active connections for patient. And you'll see that Denise is now again on the patient's care team. And just to go over, yes, sometimes you do get an error message when trying to add care team members here. There could be one of two reasons. It could be they are already inactive on the patient's care team list and you can reactivate them, how I just showed you. Also, sometimes it might be because they are deactivated as users. So say if someone was a user and they haven't logged in quite some time, they might be deactivated in the Care Navigator system altogether. So those are two reasons why you might find an error in activating a care team member. You can always check in with us if you have any issues.